We've all been there. You're at a party, or a dinner, or a work event. Everyone else is laughing, sharing amazing stories. And you're just there, you're nodding, you're smiling. But inside, your mind is screaming. Say something, think of something, anything. But you come up with nothing. The conversation moves on, and you feel completely invisible. The fear of being boring is one of the most painful, silent fears we have. Because it's not just about parties. It's about feeling like you're not enough. Like your life isn't big enough. Like you're not big enough. I used to be that person. I spent my early 20s convinced I was the most boring man alive. I'd go to events and just pray no one would talk to me. Because if they did, they'd find out the truth. I had nothing to offer. I was just filler. I spent the next 10 years obsessed with this problem. I read psychology books. I watched interviews with the most charismatic people alive. I forced myself to go to parties and I discovered something that changed my entire life. Being interesting has almost nothing to do with what you've done. It's not about climbing mountains or starting companies or traveling the world. Being interesting is a skill. It's a set of simple, learnable techniques. And today, I'm going to teach you the 7 most powerful ones. The last one is the most important the one I use every single day to connect with anyone. 1. Kill the interviewer. This is the mistake 99% of boring people make. We think being a good conversationalist means asking a lot of questions. So we run a script. Where are you from? What do you do? Do you have any hobbies? This isn't a conversation. It's an interrogation. You're making the other person do all the work, and you're revealing nothing. The fix. It's called the statement and question method. Instead of just asking, what do, you give something first. You say, I just finished a huge project at work, and I'm feeling completely burned out. What do you do to de-stress when work gets crazy? See the difference. You offered a piece of yourself. You showed vulnerability. You gave them a real hook to connect with. You didn't just ask a question. You started a conversation. 2. The passion exploit. I want you to think about the most boring topic you can imagine. Stamp collecting, Microsoft Excel, the history of concrete. Now, imagine someone talking about that topic, but their eyes are on fire. They're leaning in. They're using their hands. They're talking so fast they can barely keep up with their own brain. Are you bored? No. You're captivated. We have this myth that to be interesting, we need to have interesting hobbies. That's a lie. Passion is contagious, not topics. The most interesting people aren't the ones with the coolest hobbies. They're the ones who are the most obsessed. Stop hiding your weird interests. Stop pretending you don't care about something just because it's not cool. If you love spreadsheets, talk about the beautiful, perfect logic of a VLOOKUP function. If you love birds, talk about the brutal, high-stakes drama of a hummingbird feeder. Your passion is your most interesting quality. Use it. 3. Be a collector, not a tourist. Boring people are passive. They let life happen to them. They consume, they scroll, they watch. Interesting people are collectors. They are active. They don't just go on vacation. They go with a mission. A tourist takes a picture of the Eiffel Tower. A collector tries to find the best, most hidden croissant bakery in the third. A tourist watches a movie. A collector learns the name of the director, finds out what inspired them, and goes down a rabbit hole for an hour. You don't need to do more things. You just need to go deeper on the things you already do. This weekend, don't just watch a show. Pick one show and learn everything about how it was made. Don't just go for a walk. Pick one street in your town and learn its entire history. This builds a library of stories in your head. It gives you depth. When you talk, people will lean in because they can tell you're not just scratching the surface. 4. The 5-second flaw. We think that to be interesting, we have to be impressive. We have to show off our wins, our perfect life, our achievements. This doesn't make you interesting. It makes you intimidating. Or worse, it makes you fake. The fastest way to connect with another human being is not perfection. It's vulnerability. I call this the 5-second flaw. When you meet someone, or you're in a conversation, find a small, safe way to be imperfect. I'm so sorry, I'm a little wired. I just had my 3rd coffee, and I'm vibrating. I feel so out of place at these things. I'm much better one-on-one. I just spent 10 minutes trying to open the door the wrong way. This tiny moment of self-deprecation does something magical. It lowers the shields. It makes you human. The other person instantly relaxes. They think, oh, thank God, you're not perfect. I don't have to be perfect either. Perfection is boring. Your flaws are what make you interesting. 5. Ask why twice. If you only remember one practical trick, make it this one. When someone tells you something, ask why. And after they answer, wait a beat and gently ask why. Again, not like a child, like a genuine, curious human. Person, I'm a lawyer. You, oh interesting. Most people I know in law are trying to get out. What made you choose it? Person, well, I guess I always wanted to help people. You, pauses, smiles, that's a great answer. But why? Was there a moment you realized that? That second why is where the real story is. The first why gets the surface answer. The second why gets the belief, the motive, the person. This is how you have a conversation that you'll still be thinking about 3 days later. 6. The odd hobby. This is a simple one. You must have at least one thing in your life that you be doing for no other reason than you are purely curious about it. It shouldn't make you money. It shouldn't be for your resume. It shouldn't be for your health. It's just for you. Learn 3 magic tricks. Start a worm farm. Learn to identify 5 constellations. Learn how to pick a simple lock. Get okay at playing the harmonica. Why? Because when it comes up in conversation, what did you do this weekend? You'll have an answer that isn't, oh, you know, watched Netflix, did some chores. You'll say, I spent 2 hours trying to teach my dog to find a truffle. It was a complete disaster. That's a story. That's a spark. That's interesting. 7. Stop being a mirror. Be a filter. This is the final secret. This is the one that changes everything. Most of us are trained to be mirrors. We're agreeable. We nod. We reflect back what the other person is saying. Oh, that's crazy. Wow, totally. This is safe. This is also boring. The most interesting, charismatic people are not mirrors. They are filters. They don't just reflect. They process. They listen to what you say, run it through their own unique brain, their own experiences, their own opinions, their own odd hobbies, and then they add their perspective. Boring mirror. I just saw the new action movie. Oh cool. Was it good? Interesting filter. I just saw the new action movie. Nice. It's funny. I was just reading about how the director almost bankrupted the studio to get that one helicopter scene. Did it feel worth it to you? A filter adds value. A filter has a point of view. A filter combines ideas to create a new idea. This is the scariest step. Because having a point of view means you might be wrong. Someone might disagree, but that's the whole point. Being interesting isn't about being liked by everyone. It's about being remembered. It's about being real. You are not boring. You're just in the habit of hiding. You're a mirror when you were born to be a filter. The solution isn't to get a new life. It's to start engaging with the one you have. Be a collector. Exploit your passion. Ask why twice. Stop trying to be impressive. Start being vulnerable. Stop trying to be liked. Start being you. It's the most interesting thing you can possibly be.